Motherfucker!
Hi, my name is Jackson, and this is the story of the time I got into a fight with a customer at work. Now before I start the story, let me just make one thing clear. I generally do not pick fights if I can help it. I will defend myself if need be, but I don't start shit for the sake of starting shit. So with that said, let's begin. So this misadventure took place around 7:30 on a Sunday night, and for most fast food places, that's usually rush hour. Now this customer ordered a blizzard, a milkshake, and a box of steak fingers. And the thing with steak fingers is no one ever orders it, so we had to make it fresh. So once she pulls up to the window, I charge her, give her ice cream, and I ask her, could you please drive forward, I'll take your food out as soon as it's ready. And she says no. Now this catches me off guard because most people who pull up to the drive-thru are decent people who will pull up and do what we say because they trust us that their food isn't ready and that I'm not just being a lazy asshole. But apparently I didn't have a decent person at my drive-thru at this moment. Now in the past, I've had customers tell me no when I've asked them to pull up, and because it wasn't a rush, I just let them sit there, but there were 6 cars behind this woman, so I wasn't ready to let this go. So I asked her again, ma'am, could you please drive forward, your food still isn't ready yet, but as soon as it is ready, I promise you I'll take it out myself. And she says, no, I'm just gonna wait here. And I tell her, ma'am, there's several cars behind you, and she still says, no, I got here first. Now in my mind, I'm already getting pretty heated, but I'm trying to keep it professional on the outside. So I tell her, ma'am, what does this benefit you? Could you please drive forward? And she says probably one of the most self-entitled things I've ever heard in my life, and that is, I'm the customer. And in my mind, I'm just sort of,
I don't give a fuck!
But I legally can't say that. So I asked her again to please drive forward and she says no, and then she says that we gave her watery ice cream and she shakes the milkshake at me. And I guess she didn't understand that milkshakes have milk in them and they're not going to be as solid as the blizzard. And the blizzard I gave her was rock solid, like all my blizzards are. So I have to explain to her the basic principles of liquid, and we're just arguing, going back and forth, and this probably would have gone on, but amongst all this bullshit arguing, her steak fingers are finally ready. So my coworker gives it to me and I give it to her, and before driving off, she tilts her head to the side and says, wasn't that hard, and drives off. 10 minutes passed and I'm already pretty calmed down, moving on with my day, just helping more customers because we're still stuck in the middle of this rush. My manager comes up to me and she says, hey, that customer just called, and if what she said is true, you're being pretty rude. So I tell her, tell me what she said and I'll tell you if it's true or not, even if it makes me look bad. So she says, well, at one point the customer asked to speak to a manager and that you told her no.
Hold up.
And I immediately tell my manager that that's bullshit. My manager's like, I know, that doesn't seem like something you would do. And then at one point the customer tried to describe me so my manager could identify who I was. And she says that I think he was a white male, but that doesn't give him any right to act the way he did. And that sort of threw me off because A, I'm a relatively tanned Hispanic, and B, she kind of just accused me of using my white empowerment over her that apparently I had no one told me I had. Long story short, I had a shitty customer, but the reason she reacted the way she did wasn't because I kept asking her to drive forward, it was because someone she viewed as lower than her told her no. If I'm being fully honest, the only people who respect fast food workers or other minimum wage workers are people who work that job currently, worked that job at one point, or people raised with any sort of dignity, and apparently, she's none of the 3.
Cook your meals.
So the moral of the story is, please just be a decent person and treat others the way you want to be treated. And lastly,
Do not fuck with us.